Welcome back. Well, attention all Target shoppers, you better check your bank statements. The retail giant reports that 40 million debit and credit card accounts could have been hacked between Black Friday and December 15th. The company is warning customers to check for unauthorized activity on their bank cards in case the criminals decided to do a bit of holiday shopping at the Target customers' expense. The hackers may have been able to access the shoppers' names, card numbers, expiration dates, and the 3-digit security code on the back of the card. So how safe is our data with all this extra card swiping that we're doing during this holiday season? To help me sort through this, I was joined earlier by Himanshu Nigam, founder of SSP Blue, and I first asked him how someone could know if their information was vulnerable during this attack.
So anyone who went to Target the day before Thanksgiving and until December 15th is vulnerable. That's millions and millions of people. And what you have to do is, number one, before anything, is change your PIN number on your debit card if you have one.
So how much was stolen? How far-reaching is this? Do we know any of the specifics at this point? Which states, for instance?
Well, I believe it hit almost every state that Target is in. There were some 2,000 stores that were targeted. No pun intended on that one by accident. And also Canada. So this is something that I think is going to be continued to be investigated. But the bottom line is, if you used a credit card or a debit card, you could be at risk, and you need to check your statement, change your PIN number, and do some other things.
So how did this attack work? Is Target more vulnerable than anywhere else that people use their credit cards or their debit cards?
Well, I think what we have to understand as consumers is no retail shop has 100% security. So this is not something that, well, Target didn't do enough. What's really going on is that hackers have done something very clever here. They have figured out that instead of just targeting the online retail experience, going to Target.com or some other store.com, what they're doing is going to what's called a point of sale. That moment when you swipe your credit card, they're hacking into the system that collects that information, sending it off to some other location and grabbing your credit card information, your PIN number, and therefore they can now create other credit cards and walk around and shop with them as though they are you, or they can go online and use that information and shop for other things.
So how can customers protect themselves from this moving forward beyond Target?
Well, moving forward, not only if you're a Target customer, you have to think about your security even if you don't shop at Target, because this can happen at any store. One of the things that you should do consistently is every few months change your PIN number. As much as it's not easy to do, it's worth doing. Second, check your statement all the time. One of the best ways that I can think of doing it is putting a mark on your calendar. Every day at 2 o'clock, you're going to call that 1-800 number on the back of your card and just follow the prompts and hear what your last 5 charges were. Because if there's something unusual in real time, you're going to remember it, you're going to report it, and then that will be taken care of by the bank or the credit company.
Himu, I want to go ahead and move on away from data that's been hacked and to data about individuals that companies mine, they buy, and they sell. Now, a new report from the Senate Commerce Committee just came out, and it outlines some of the data that these companies have. Now, one of these data mining companies, Equifax, has 75,000 individual data elements on people. These include, for instance, whether consumers have bought a particular soft drink in the past 6 months, whether they use laxatives or not, whether they visited a gynecologist within the last year or not, and how many miles a year they drive over the past 4-week period. I mean, Himu, I personally don't even have 75,000 data points on myself. So how do the data companies find out whether or not consumers are, say, using laxatives?
Well, I think this report, the one thing is clear. Senator Rockefeller is pretty irked by what he's finding out in this report. And that is that data companies are getting information about you, not just in the online world, like oftentimes we think about. And if you look at the past year, what you and I have been talking about, Megan, we've been talking about the online world. What this report is doing is it's showing that in the physical world, there's a lot of data being collected about you, and now it's being merged with the data about you in the online world. And so every place you're going, sites you're visiting in the physical world, and places you're going in the online world are getting merged into one to create, in essence, a profile about you, which then the data brokers are selling to marketing companies and saying, you're looking for a group of people who go to St. Paul, Minnesota, and shop at this one particular store and that bucket of people, or they go skiing over there. Let's focus on them and target them. Give me that data. And that exchange happens for money, and then you start getting ads, whether in your mailbox down the street where your mailbox is, or in your online experience as you're browsing the web.
And Hemu, we don't have that much time left, but I want to ask you two more quick questions. First of all, how much money are these data mining companies actually getting, and is there a meaningful way to opt out of them?
Well, the bottom line on the money is it's in the millions to the billions of dollars. That's how much money is being exchanged here. In terms of opting out, that is the challenge. It's almost like you can run, but you cannot hide. So what you can do is say, hey, data companies, I want to know what you have about me. I want to do something about it. If it's incorrect, I need the right to correct it. And that's, I think, what you're going to see when holiday is over. Senator Rockefeller is going to come back, and no doubt they're going to start introducing legislation to give more power to consumers than right now it's obvious they don't have.
Himanshu Nigam, founder of SSP Blue, thank you so much for joining us and for giving our viewers some idea of how to protect themselves this coming holiday season and beyond.
Thanks, Megan. Happy holidays.